Welcome in, Wizards. It is the March 2023 episode. We got the winner of March, Owen, backstage, ready and waiting. We've got Crown and Anchor coming up. We're gonna have chats with Owen. We got a lightning round that surprises even the lightning round question askers. This lightning round just gets crazier and crazier every month. Sorry, yeah, stick around. The show's coming right up.
Hey Nate, how's it going, man?
What's up, Fub? Everything's good, man. Everything is lovely.
Everything is good. I'm glad to hear that, man. We do still need to figure out what we're doing for the water bet.
No, we did the water bet. Oh, we need to figure out what this season's water bet's going to be.
Yeah, this season's water bet. We need to figure out what we're going to do.
Yes.
So have a little think about that.
Yeah, sure.
Come up with something in the next show, maybe.
I mean, we can. No, I'm not gonna make this water bet. I thought of one, but I'm not gonna make it because I can't bring myself to bet for City. So I'm not gonna make that water bet. And I think you know what that water bet would be, but I can't bring myself to make a bet for City. So
yeah,
I won't. That won't be the water bet.
Okay. Well, I thank you for that because I'm a little worried about.
You know what I've questioned Arsenal's credentials all season, and that's probably been wrong of me, because Arsenal have proved me wrong many times this season. But I just think that City are the stronger team, unfortunately. I'm sorry for you, Fub. I'm sorry for Arsenal fans for saying that, but I think they are, and I think that they're gonna, down the stretch, they're gonna be the depth of their squad as the season now reaches that point where guys are getting tired, guys are picking up injuries. I think that the depth of their squad will just kind of carry them through, unfortunately. And hey,
it's interesting.
In all honesty, Fub, I've kind of come around on it. I think that I actually would prefer Arsenal to win the title, as weird as that sounds to me, to hear it come out of my mouth. I think I would actually, because it's kind of it's a double-edged sword for United fans, right? We don't want City to win it, but there's that Arsenal rivalry from the early 2000s sort of deal that can't bring myself to want Arsenal to win it either. But I think of the two, I think I'm starting to lean Arsenal of what I'd prefer to happen. But what I think will happen is that City will win, unfortunately. But I'm not going to make that water bet because I can't bring myself to bet for City for anything. So that's not going to happen. We'll find something else.
I see. So I think that this show needs a little bit of controversy, needs a little bit of drama. And I think that's where you're going with this. I think United probably won't win it, and you're kind of leaning on that. I mean, let's have
we're a shell of a team right now.
I think City has one game in hand.
City has the game in hand, yes. So it's in City's hands right now. If City wins the rest of their games, which is 9 games left. If City win the rest of their games, they will win the title. That's where it's, unless you guys get your goal difference to something astronomical, which probably won't happen because City's probably not going to drop. What are they? They're 5 up on you on goal difference right now. So,
yeah, with a game in hand.
With a game in hand, so you're probably not going to catch them on goal difference.
Yeah.
You need them to drop some points between now and the end of the season. So.
Yeah.
Again, as is discussed in the interview with our monthly winner, I think there's a big matchup coming in the next 2 weeks that's going to decide the title.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out exactly what week that is, but I know that's probably going to be the biggest game for us, just to make sure that we
that's for both teams. I think for both teams, it's going to be the biggest game of the season so far.
Yeah, here we are. So that's City Arsenal on Wednesday the 26th.
Oh, it's a midweek game too?
It's
a midweek game. Goodness, that's going to be very strange.
Yeah.
That's going to be very strange.
This is almost like the Premier League finals, if there was such a thing.
Yeah, in a way, because I do think that's what's going to decide the title is that game. Now, if it ends in a draw, I'd probably say City still has the upper hand, but I think right now Arsenal fans would probably take a draw though. If you could take a draw, you're going to the Etihad. I think if somebody handed Arsenal a draw right now, they'd probably say, yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah. I wouldn't say yes to a draw. I'd say yes to 3 points. I want to win.
Well, obviously, I mean, in a perfect world, we'd all say yes to 3 points every week, Fub.
I know.
But going away to a title rival and picking up a point isn't the worst result in the world. In the grand scheme of things, obviously, as we reach the business end of the season and you're right up against them, 1 point doesn't sound good at all. But in the grand scheme of things, like if that game happened in September, you'd be like, I'm happy with a point. We went away to City and got a point. I'm happy with that. But it's only because it's happening in April, the end of April, in a title race, that it carries more weight. So you're maybe not as keen to take a draw. But a draw is not a horrible result to go away to a rival and pick up a draw.
It's not. But I don't want to go into it thinking that.
You're right though, because you're right. That is the worry, is that Arsenal, the team themselves, might have that mentality of a draw is okay. And you really want Arsenal, I think, to go and be aggressive, because that's Arsenal's been fantastic in the first 20, 30 minutes of games. They pick up a quick goal, quick goal or two all season. That's been their MO. Pick up a quick goal or two, and then they can just be super aggressive, high line, pressing high up the pitch because they've got that 1 or 2 goal cushion. So that's Arsenal needs to go to City with that mentality, in my opinion, that we're going to come at you. I think that's how you get a result if you're going to get one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, also there's a few games in between there, so hoping obviously no injuries and maybe we got a bit of momentum. That could also help and be a factor. So who knows? But I think the interview with Owen Darrell is a very timely one. He, I think, shares some information and lets us know who the real Owen Darrell is. The real Owen Darrell stands up and gives us a good laugh. So I think we can get over to the interview with Owen right now. Owen, welcome to the show. Congratulations on winning.
Congrats.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I do remember talking to you last season, and you said every season you go, at the very least, is to win a month. So you're very consistent.
At least win my money back. You know how that goes.
Yeah, I know. Very smart man, indeed. So just generally speaking, like how have you found the season so far, and what's the highs and what's the lows?
Yeah, man, this season's been actually really tough. I remember last season when you invited me in, I had come off a really good season prior to that, and I said, this is going to be a piece of cake. And I went out and I won one of the first months in your group last year, and I was literally getting to the point where I didn't know if I was going to win a month this year. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of weeks that I forgot, and even this. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but I went out on a limb on this one. The first week I actually picked what's the guy, Michaelenko, as my captain. I don't know what I was thinking. I used Foden as my vice captain, and luckily for me, Michaelenko, I don't even know his name. He didn't play. Yeah, he didn't play. See him at the end of the bench.
Yeah. Right,
he didn't play, and Foden got I think 2 goals or something, and I was
jeez.
Yeah.
So that gave me 87. I then noticed that it was only, I think, 2 more game weeks in that month, and I think the next week I made Kane my triple captain. I did a free hit. I just said I think it was you, Nate, last month that said, just play the chips and hope it works out. Yeah.
And I had only gotten that from a couple of the guys that we interviewed earlier in the season, and they were like, I just picked this month that this is the month I was going to go all in, and I was like, all right, I'm going to try that then.
So needless to say, I have nothing left in the tank for the next 2 months.
Just having you in the group, Owen, I mean, you've brought in your friends, you brought in some really heavy hitters as well. So just thanks to you, for bringing the energy as well.
Yeah, as I said last time, thank you to you, Pablo, and I'm in total agreement with what you guys discussed. I think it was last month about making sure you take care of the administrative stuff on the front end and back end, because I mean we all do this and trying to get away from our day jobs and have some fun on the weekend. But you definitely need to be taking care of all the work and everything that you got to do.
I mean, I just noticed it, Fub. I mean, the league's just gotten so much bigger than it was. I mean, the league, we're talking over 60 guys in the league now. It's a lot of work for you, man. A lot of work for you. So,
it is. Thank you for understanding it as well. And for anybody who didn't watch it last week or the last month, we want to keep it going, but there's going to be a little bit of a fee for our time, basically. And you've shown me more than once, Owen, that you actually watch the videos. You're one of the few that always enter the Crown and Anchor. And you always have some good word, positive feedback for the videos. So I know you're very busy and appreciate your time as well.
Absolutely. Videos. I mean, tell you a funny story about the last one. I was sitting at my son's football game. It was about 8:20, and somebody was like, "Oh, don't forget the Crown and Anchor." I was like, "Oh man!" I did a quick calculation, threw something together, and I felt really good about it until I saw everybody else's, and I was like, "I'm nowhere near."
I think a lot of people had that one for last month's Crown and Anchor, because I went a little nuts with my total shots. I went a little nuts.
My number. And then I think I also forgot about the second week. I was just like, but it was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah, I know you have one a month before, so we're not gonna bore everybody with the same questions. But one thing I did want to ask you is what everybody's waiting for: the Crown and Anchor. What would you like the Crown and Anchor to be, and how do you want to run it this month?
Well, I want to do. Let's do total goals along with total cards for game 34. Let's do that. Total goals and total cards.
Okay.
Perfect.
And if you look at 34, it's quite a bit of games in there. So
let's see if I can pull it up.
Yeah. Hey, we're reaching that point in the season. I see that jersey you got on yourself, Owen.
You like that?
I think we know that I don't like that, but I'm sure that you've had a decent. I'm sure you've had a decent week or last weekend, really.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, it's in your hands now. If you win out, the title cup's yours. And surely, if that happens, then Arteta has to get sacked, right, Fub?
Well, yeah.
For that collapse at the end of the season, surely. I mean, it has to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would sack him there. That's harsh. That's a bit harsh.
Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, Chelsea's not in his best form, but we'll see. Yeah, we need to win this game. City, you guys got West Ham. That should be a nice game.
The big one's obviously going to be when City plays Arsenal, because that fixture's coming up. What, in 2 weeks' time? I think. That's going to be. To me, that's the title decider right there. Whoever wins that game. Is going to go on to win the title, because I don't think that either. I mean, both teams playing so well right now. Obviously, Arsenal and that second half of the Liverpool game aside, I think both teams are playing so well that neither of you is going to drop a whole lot of points outside of that fixture. I think. I mean, we can look at that Chelsea game. Chelsea. Let's be honest. They're a bottom half of the table club. So, I don't think either of you are going to drop too many points in the run-in, so I think that game between City and Arsenal is going to be the decider. Personally.
Talking about City, Owen, just to remind people what the password is to get into the Crown and Anchor.
The password is City.
Okay.
CITY, City.
Okay. I wonder why you're picking that. Is it for Nottingham City or Birmingham City?
There you go.
I see you. All right. Any questions, Nate? Actually, Nate, you want to run the lightning round?
Do I want to run the lightning round? You haven't sent me the questions, Fub. You haven't sent me the questions.
You know the questions.
Do I?
Yeah, just make them up. That's what I do. Just make them up.
Is it lightning round for the question asker too? The question asker has to come up with them in his spot as well.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! All right.
Okay, I'll put the timer up just to get the juices going. All right, so should we do 5 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, there we go. Ready, steady, go.
Sure, we'll start off nice and easy. Somerset or St. George's, Owen?
Cleveland County.
Okay. All right. Hey.
This is gonna be interesting later, man. He's answering his own questions. The questions he wants to answer.
Hey, the politicians, you answer the questions that you want to answer.
That's not the question that was asked.
This is a master class. I'm taking notes.
All right. Apple or Microsoft?
Apple.
There we go. Nice. All right. Getting back on a decent foot there. What is the what's your favorite country you've been to in the world?
Ooh, favorite
outside of Bermuda.
Favorite country I've been to.
That's a good one.
Ooh, that is a good one. I would have to say Brazil.
Okay. All right. And on the flip side, and feel free to, cover yourself if you want, but what's your least favorite country you've been to?
To be honest, it's right next to Brazil. I just came back from Argentina and I actually wasn't a fan.
Really? Okay, right. I've heard people I've known gone to Argentina absolutely loved it. So that's interesting.
I didn't have a good time.
All right, fair enough. Go on, Fub. If you got one in the chamber, let her go.
Okay. One that I had was your favorite sandwich in Bermuda.
Ooh, my favorite sandwich. I haven't had a sandwich in Bermuda in a long time, but I'm gonna have to throw it way back, like you know that roast beef with Swiss from Hickory Stick back in the day.
Hickory Stick.
Yeah, when you pull up a Hickory Stick, that's a classic. You know what I mean? I haven't had a sandwich in town in a while, but a good roast beef with Swiss on a nice whole wheat bun from Hickory Stick.
Oh yeah, you're making me hungry.
Was tough.
That is fun. That is fun. I got one more. What movie, TV show you watching recently that you enjoyed?
I am so embarrassed to tell you guys what I'm watching, so I'm not going to tell you that. It's one of those shows that
Is that bad? I thought you were going to say you're too busy working.
No, it is.
You can't watch everything. That's what I was saying.
Hey, I'm not even going to tell you guys, but I'll say this: it's one of these shows that older women are watching, and I don't know how I got stuck.
Not like a Love Is Blind or something like that, is it?
It must be.
The fact that you know about it make me.
No, I'm in circles. I hear things.
The women at my job are raving about Love Is Blind this week, so I know it must have something special.
I don't know. I just keep told that there's episodes that we have to watch. I'm like, oh.
I have never seen an episode of Love Is Blind, but I do know it is a thing. No judgment here. Don't worry.
But anyway.
You want to take the last one, Nate?
The last one. What is, being topical, what's your favorite aspect of Good Friday and Easter in Bermuda?
Oh, I'm all about culture, right? I make a kite every year. I actually make fish cakes. I will not try to make buns, but I like the fact that it's one of those holidays and traditions that people get stuck in, and that's what they do. So everybody knows that Aunt so and so is the bun lady, and Uncle so and so does the fish cakes, and you pick up your swizzle from cousin. And I like that aspect of it, is that, and even if you have fish cakes, somebody else brings over fish cakes, and you try everybody's, and now
it'd be rude not to.
Yeah, and now Good Friday has, over the last, I would say, maybe 10 years, has taken on a life of its own, with all these different community pop-up days taking place all over the island. I mean, before, everybody just used to go down to St. David's. Now, I mean, from east to west, every community has a fun day. So I like that. I like culture, and I like, being able to pop from one neighborhood to another and see how they do Good Friday differently. So I actually love that aspect of it.
Cool. I've always said, when people ask me what my favorite holiday is, especially people not from Bermuda,
yeah,
they automatically assume you'll say something like Christmas or things like that. I've always said my favorite holiday is Good Friday.
Yeah.
I think that's, to me, it's so unique in Bermuda, the way that we celebrate Good Friday and Easter. It's so unique, and it's so unique. It's ours, right? We own this. It's and I'm the same as you. I make a kite every year. I got people asking me to make kites. I often say no, because I think people think I find it fun. And I always tell them that I don't find it fun. I do it because I have to. I do it because because I have to.
Yeah, and you keep that tradition alive, right?
Exactly. That's so I do it out of almost like a duty in a weird way. Like it's a duty of mine to make a kite every year. But yeah, cool. That was interesting to hear that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Owen. Last thing was if you had anything to share, any special shout outs before we wrap it up.
No, I just want to say shout out to everyone in this league. As you know, Fubler, I took on a new job halfway through the season, and it's actually interesting. Sometimes on my downtime, I just scroll through and to see a lot of the who's who of Bermuda that you actually have in this league is actually really cool. So, like I said, thanks again to you to putting it on. You've got guys that are footballers, guys that are football fans, and even some people that may just say, you know what, I'm just in it just because I like playing games like this. So it's good to scroll through and see who you have in the league, and hey, keep up the good work, man. I probably have nothing left for you guys this season. I got my month. I'm going to take my money and run.
Hey, there's still the crown anchor. Hey,
but I will tell you this, that I will definitely be back again next season.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Lovely.
Yeah, man. Hey, thank you. It's great having you too, man.
Cool, man. Take care.
Incredible interview with Owen. Very busy, but he always makes time for our league.
Always makes time for certain TV shows too, apparently.
Indeed.
Rumor has it.
Yes. He's a great sport, and he also shares the group with other people, which helps us to continue to grow.
Yes.
I think he is also one of those people who are very very confused in selecting their teams. Not sure why he would pick the team he has, but anyway, that's probably a different show. But we can talk a little bit about the new Crown and Anchor, because I think the one he picked hasn't been done yet.
I think we've had both of these, but not together. So we've got total goals and total cards for Gaming 34. So no home and away, nothing like that. Just total goals, total cards, so both yellows and reds. For that entire game, I think there's a couple. I think there's more than 10 games, and there's a couple extra, so it could be an interesting number. So get those answers in using the link as usual. The password for this month is going to be Owen's choice, not our choice, but it will be City with a capital C.
Definitely
he must be talking about Hamilton City, right? City of Hamilton, right, Fub?
City of Hamilton.
He must be talking about City of Hamilton. Yeah. So City with a capital C will be the password. And the link, as usual, will be down in the description, the wizard link to go submit your Crown and Anchor guesses.
I'm excited for this one. I don't think that the overall season is within my grasp. I've accepted it. I've realized it. I've gotten to the point where I'm okay with that. I do think maybe I get a month here or there, but
it's coming, Fub. It's coming.
Yeah, well, that's probably my best odds, is probably the month, and then Crown and Anchor is always a Hail Mary every single time we do it.
If we run like a little private fantasy league for like preseason in like July, you could win that, Fub. You could win that.
What do you mean? There's no games.
There's preseason games. You could play some We could pretend. We'll fill out. You submit your team, and we'll get some points out. It'll be like a participation ribbon.
Are you okay? I feel like this is going down a very dark.
Look, I'm a monthly winner now, Fub. I'm a monthly winner now. I can. Sorry, I've let it go to my head. I'm sorry. That's.
Thank Thank you. You're so humble. So humble. I love that. I love that about you. I actually thought, when you won that month, I was like, no, the pressure's on me because everybody's gonna be looking at me like, how come Nate can win one? But they're probably just in my head.
I don't think anybody's asking.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody even notices.
You'll win one, Fub. You'll win one. You will. It's gonna happen. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. You still have your chips left? You still have all your chips, or did you use them?
Truth be told, I'm using them all in this month.
Oh, okay.
I took your advice. I did the bench boost last week, and got a pretty decent amount of points. So we'll see. I think this actually I could probably pull it up because I haven't really been looking as closely as I should. Let's see. Okay, so I'm in the running.
Right.
So this will probably date the video because hopefully I'll have a lot more points by the time the video comes out. But yeah, I actually pulled out a Nate. So I did this was game week 29. I did a bench boost 139. So I think
that's quality, Fub. That is quality. 139 is nothing to sniff at. And your bench got you some points that week too. Mings and Gross. Yeah. And Jose Sa. All right.
I was able to get Rashford before he decided to go on vacation for a bit.
For goodness sake.
We could talk about that later if you like.
Yeah. Rather not.
And then I didn't use anything for game week 30.
I found that was a strange game because I feel like it was a lot of guys. A lot of guys who don't typically get a lot of points were getting points, and a lot of the normal guys weren't. Yeah. I feel maybe that was just me because my team didn't do well. maybe that's why I think that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone else was doing normal. Everyone else was just normal week, but my guys didn't do well.
Look, Nate, you've already won a month. Let's give other people a turn.
There we go.
Okay,
you've
had your turn.
Let's look for it. Hey, congrats! You're up there, man. You're in the running now. It's just got to keep going. You're in the running for April. Let it go.
Yeah, I will. I'm just gonna I have my triple captain. I didn't use it yet, but I'm gonna use it this month. So hopefully that pushes me over the edge. And nice. I have you to thank. For that. Actually, you know what? Send me your banking details because I need to send you the funds.
Oh, right.
When you won. And then send it.
I think I remember my number off the top of my head.
Well, more credit to you. More power to you for that.
I have a weird thing with numbers, Phil. I remember numbers really well. I don't know why, but I think I remember my bank account number off the top of my head.
So do you remember the number 70 at all? 0770.
Why should I remember that number?
Liverpool 077007. Anyway, we can wrap up the show now. I thought you were good with numbers, but clearly it's only certain numbers, I guess. But I've really enjoyed this show with you, Nate. Probably too soon for Liverpool jokes, I'm guessing. But we can always come back to it next time.
Look, if Liverpool wants to take home the trophy of beating United 7-0, that's cool. I'll take home the trophy that we actually have won this season. So they can hold that trophy up with their 7th place finish. That's good by me.
7 for 7. Boy. Anyways, Nate, we should do lunch sometime as well.
Yeah, sure.
I think that would be fun. I saw your mom the other day. This may not make it to the final cut. I saw your mom. I was in line at Cafe 4 and had a nice conversation with her. She said that she does watch football shows there. She said she does watch these episodes. So if she's watching it, shout out to your mom.
That's just, the amount of people that come up to me and say they saw my mom in town. I'm like, she's in town like twice a week because she works from home more often than not. And I always think, I don't think I see that many people out in town. Like, I don't think there's that many people walking around saying, "Oh, I saw Nate out in town," and yet I'm in town every day. She's in town twice a week, and it seems like at least once a week I get somebody saying, "Oh, I saw your mom in town today." I'm like, what's she doing in town? Like, she's not working, obviously. She's just supposed to be walking around meeting people.
I don't want to say too much, Nate. But
she's out there living her best life. She's not working.
She is. I think she was getting a salad, really healthy salad. All right, Nate. For anybody who is listening to the audio version of this on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and you want to see our faces and the beautiful graphics and stuff, check us out on YouTube.
Good luck for the rest of April, Fub. You're right up there. I'll be watching for sure. And good luck to everybody. And congrats again to Owen on his March win.
Yeah, cool. Until next time.
Cool, Fub.